Life is full of twists and turns, and sometimes the hardest decisions we have to make aren't about what we want, but about what other people want for us. Relationships can be complex and complicated, especially when it feels like there's an invisible force holding you back from doing what you desire. In this case, the invisible force is not something external, but someone very close to me. It's someone I deeply care about, and yet she's forcing me to stay single. You might be wondering, why would someone do that? And that's a question I've been asking myself for quite some time. But the more I think about it, the more I realize that the reasons aren't just one thing. They're a complex mixture of love, fear, expectations, and a lot of unspoken emotions. It's not easy to talk about, but today, I'm going to share the full story, explain why I'm caught in this situation, and give you a deeper look at why she's pushing me into a single life, when all I really want is to find love. It all started some years ago when I first met her. We weren't even that close at the beginning, just casual acquaintances through mutual friends. But as time went on, our paths started crossing more frequently. We began talking, sharing ideas, thoughts, and feelings, and before I knew it, I had developed a deep connection with her. She had a way of making everything seem so easy, like life's challenges were nothing compared to the calm that she exuded. We spent hours together, and I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time, the possibility of true connection. But there was a catch. She had her own history, her own set of baggage, and that's where things started to get complicated. You see, she had been through a lot in her life. Her family wasn't perfect, and while I don't want to get into too many details, there were a lot of unresolved issues, both in her personal life and within her family dynamics. She had been hurt before, and that pain had molded the way she saw relationships. For her, relationships were a source of anxiety, of deep-rooted fears. She had been burned in the past by people she trusted, and now she saw love as something that could be dangerous. She didn't want to see anyone she cared about go through the pain she had been through. But here's the thing, she was projecting her past onto my future. At first, I didn't notice it. I thought her concern was just part of her caring nature. After all, who wouldn't want the best for someone they love? But over time, the reality set in. She began to make comments, little things at first. She would say, "Maybe you don't need a relationship right now." Or, "I think being single suits you better." Initially, I brushed these off as just passing thoughts. But as we spent more time together, her insistence grew. It wasn't just the occasional comment anymore. It was a continuous theme in our conversations. She'd subtly suggest that I wasn't ready for a relationship, that I didn't need the distractions of love in my life. She'd tell me that my career, my goals, and my personal growth were far more important than any romantic involvement. And at first, I listened. I took her words to heart because, honestly, she was right. My career was at a crucial point, and I did need focus. But as time went on, I realized that it wasn't just advice. It was an ultimatum. It felt as though she was deciding my path for me, and it was starting to feel like my own desires didn't matter. She began to subtly guide my choices. She would question every move I made toward dating or relationships. I would mention someone I met or an idea of a future with someone, and she would talk me out of it, convincing me that it wasn't the right time. And here's where it got really tricky. I started to believe her, not because I wanted to, but because I thought maybe she knew something I didn't. Maybe she had my best interest at heart. After all, she cared about me, right? But then, it hit me. This was more than just her looking out for me. She was controlling my future. She was deciding when I should be happy, when I should be in love, and when I should be single. Every time I thought about a relationship, her words echoed in my mind. "You're not ready. It's not the right time. You're better off on your own." And no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being held back by her expectations. I started to feel torn between what I wanted, which was a loving, healthy relationship, and what she wanted for me, which was isolation. The guilt started to creep in. How could I go against someone I cared so deeply about? How could I disregard her concerns when they seemed so genuine? Every time I thought about taking a step forward in my love life, I felt like I was betraying her in some way. This dynamic started to take a toll on me. I began to question my own worth. Was I really ready for love, or was I just chasing an idealized fantasy? Was I just going through the motions because I felt I should, or did I actually want to open my heart to someone new? And each time I would question myself, I could feel her presence, her quiet yet unyielding influence holding me back. But here's the kicker. I never truly asked myself why she was doing this. Why was she so determined to keep me single? Was it just about my well-being, or was there something deeper? After spending so much time contemplating this, I started to see the patterns. The truth wasn't as clear-cut as I thought. She had her own fears. Fears about being abandoned. Fears about losing someone she loved. Fears about not being enough. She had built up walls to protect herself. Walls that she was unconsciously imposing on me. She was so afraid of seeing me go through the pain she had endured in her past that she was doing everything in her power to prevent me from ever experiencing that kind of hurt. But here's the thing. Love isn't just about avoiding pain. Yes, relationships come with their challenges, but they also bring growth, joy, and connection. By forcing me to stay single, she wasn't protecting me from pain. She was denying me the opportunity to experience the richness of a relationship, to learn and grow from those experiences. As much as I understand her fears, I also realize that I have my own path to walk. I can't live my life based on someone else's fears, no matter how much they love me. I deserve to make my own choices, to take risks, and to follow my heart. And while I care deeply about her, I can't let her control my future, just as I wouldn't want to control hers. It's been a difficult realization. Letting go of the expectation that she will always guide me, that she will always be there to make my decisions, is challenging. But it's also empowering. I am slowly coming to terms with the fact that while her love is important, it's not my responsibility to carry her fears. I need to live my life on my terms, not just hers. The journey ahead isn't easy. It's going to require strength, clarity, and a lot of self-reflection. But I know that for the sake of my own happiness and well-being, I need to break free from the invisible chains that have been placed on me. I need to make decisions for myself, even if it means stepping away from the expectations that have been set for me. And as I continue on this path, I hope she realizes that I still care deeply for her, but I can't let her fears shape my future. Love is about finding balance, and sometimes that balance means taking control of your own life, even when it's hard. So, to anyone out there who feels like they're being held back by someone else's fears, know that it's okay to take control of your own destiny. You don't have to stay single just because someone else thinks it's best for you. You have the right to seek love, to take chances, and to live the life that feels right for you. In the end, life is about growth, and growth often requires change, even when it's difficult. So, I'm choosing to embrace the uncertainty, to step into the unknown, and to trust that love will find its way to me, whether it's with her or with someone else. And that's why I'm no longer letting her force me to stay single. I am ready for love, on my terms.